Hello, my friends. This is Linda with Stamping School. I'm going to be working with this Snowman Magic Bundle, page 44 of the Stampin' Up! Holiday Catalog. I still call it a holiday catalog. They're calling it the July through December catalog. It's got other stuff in it too besides holiday, but the majority of it has some holiday in it. I had a request from Julie to use it. And honestly, I bought it because I wanted this die right here. I have other snowman sets, but I just love this frame, and I got it for that. If you look at the samples here, they used it for a sun and sand snowman. Is it still a snowman if it's in the sand? Anyway, pink and green, and a little shaker card. So it's a really cute set. It's fiddly, and those of you that have been watching me for a while know what I mean by fiddly. It means teeny tiny little dies and little stamps and little. So if you don't like to fiddle with your stamps and dies and put things together, this may not be for you. However, this die might be worth it. It's so good. I love this font for this sentiment. It's the most magical time of the year. I love mixing the fonts together. This is what I ended up doing first. Last week I used this embossing folder when we used for the toilet paper card. That's what we did last week. So I put it behind the frame in Highland Heather and a little bit of silver. If I had to do this one again, I would probably stamp the snowman in basic gray, make it a little bit darker, and do the hat in basic gray. So it was really gray, white, silver, and the heather purple color. But it's cute. Now you can do a lot with this snowman. You can make him cool and hip and do different things. There's a little stocking cap. There's a sunglasses stamp. Let me show you this. So little sunglasses and a little beanie hat. So you can say sending wishes for a cool Christmas would be great to send all your cool hip friends, grandkids, whoever. And that's the little beach hat. This little bow here, you can use it for a little bow tie for the snowman, or you can put it on the hat. There's two different faces that go in different directions. So you can have two snowmen that are looking at each other, different smiles and little dots for the belly, arms, stars, and then same for the dies. There's movable arms and parts if you want to stamp them and cut them, or just cut them out. There's the bow tie, there's a little holly leaf, a snowflake, a couple different kinds of trees, 3 different noses, a little bird die, a scarf. We'll cut this one out right here. And the bunny, there's a little bunny. It's cute set. So I am starting with a navy card, 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5.5 inches in landscape position to create a top fold card. Now I want a layer of silver, so I took some of that silver foil and I just put a stitched rectangle in there and saved it for something else. Just because foil can be kind of expensive. So we're just going to use the inside of it. And this is 3 3/4 by 5, so that I have a little bit bigger of a border here. If you're going to run foil through your die machine like I did here, what you should do is you put your die on and then put a piece of copy paper on top before you run it through. Copy paper, or even 2 layers of copy paper, so that you don't get all the etchings from your cutting plate, because your cutting plates get all etched up. So it helps it a little bit, and you can see slight texture on this, but barely anything. It's still gonna work fine. So on this one, I did the embossing, but then we have this really great paper. So instead of doing the embossing, I'm going to use this designer paper. This is in the holiday catalog. It's 12 by 12, and it has 2 different kinds of flocked with its velvet on it. And then it has kind of like a silver, almost a little holographic. It kind of reads a little blue sometimes, with vellum and silver dots, and then vellum with white velvet snowy dots. I'm going to use this one. And then really big snow, so really pretty. See how that's kind of holographic a little bit? Really pretty paper. So I thought I would try that behind my frame. So I cut my frame out in navy. And the best thing to do when you cut this frame is get it to exactly the same size which is a little bit of an off number. It's not quite 3 1/4, and it's not quite 4 1/2. I'll put the exact measurements down below. If you expand the description, you'll see my measurements. So you cut it exactly the same size and run it through, because this is an open-ended die. So if you put it on a very large piece of paper and center it, it's just going to cut that window out, which is nice. So you can actually have a shaker card, you could have a window card. It's really, really useful to not have a border that cuts on it. If you run that through, it'll give you a nice little 1/8 inch border all the way around it. Very pretty. I have a little piece of vellum that I'm going to put down right here for snow at the bottom. And just so you don't see all the layering right there, I'm going to put it on some white, and that's going to help it pop a little bit. I'm going to put some right at the bottom, and I'm going to center it. This is just a little bit bigger. So when I put my frame on, there's going to be a little layer of white all the way around. Now, right up here in the corner, I'm going to put just a little bit of glue just to tack down that corner. I don't have to worry about the middle, just a little bit in the corners. And now the tricky thing is, how do we attach this? And the best way, I think, is a glue dot. And we're going to put it right in these places that you can't really see very well. You can use a little bit of white glue, but I just don't like oozage. And every once in a while, if you get too much white glue and it starts coming out the sides and then it dries sticky, and so I'm just going to add glue dots strategically where you can't see them. You know, the glue dots now come opposite on the roll, and I kind of like it because I can just leave it in the box and just pull it out. It took me a little while to get used to the fact that they were on in a different direction. Nobody consulted us, of course. The glue dot company just changed it. And we were all like, what's going on? They're opposite. But you know what? It works better. I like this. I can just pull them off and use them where I want. Stretch them out. Okay, I need one more. Maybe up here. I'll do one right here. There we go. If it's too big, just move it around to make it fit. We're not tacking on for a hurricane or anything, so. Now the vellum should be exactly the same size as your frame so that you don't see it popping out. Isn't that pretty? Now we can attach it to the silver frame and we can embellish. Ooh, it's pretty already. See, look, you can go this way. So now this is the fun part, you know, how do you want to decorate it? You can put anything here. I mean, I could make it very young and hip and fun, right? And add different elements. I die cut a silver tree. You do a silver tree up here, maybe a snowflake, so you can make it fun like that. Stamping him in navy. There's also the deer punch. So if you want to do something more with more nature, you can certainly do that. I've got this little sentiment that comes in the set, thinking of you this season. Where is that going to go? Could really just go down here, here, in the middle. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut 2 trees out of this die, and I'm just going to keep it to the trees and the snowflakes for this particular card. Got my little banner, it's probably just 1/4 of an inch, and I'm just going to cut 2 little points here, maybe here and here. There. I'm going to add this to the bottom down here. Could have done a little bit longer. That's all right. Right there at the very bottom. I add my trees. I'm going to bring in my glue, my fine tip glue bottle, because it's so little that I don't even think I could put a little glue dot on there. I'm going to tuck that under my snow on this side. In person, this is so pretty with the vellum and the textural velvet snowflakes back here, the little snowfall. I'm going to trim this one down a little bit. make it just a little bit shorter. I probably just have to go just up the middle of the tree. Any more and I feel like I'm gonna get oozage. This one's gonna go down the hill, slightly shorter, and one little snowflake. I'm gonna put that snowflake right here. Oops. And then we just need some rhinestones around here. And someone asked, how are you mailing cards with rhinestones? And I always put a little piece of cardstock on top when I mail it, or a nice piece of paper towel, like a Bounty, you know, just a nice little, exactly the same size as the card. It just protects it and keeps the rhinestones from, if you're going through the sorter. If you are going to hand cancel them and take them to the post office, they cost a little bit more, but you get a non-machinable stamp, postage stamp that goes on there. And that way they're not going to go through the machine and get extra wear and tear on them. And that's what I do for most of my cards, so that they arrive nicely. Spare no rhinestones, right? If you do one, then you feel like you got to do them all. It's very pretty though. You got to know when to walk away. I'm going to end up putting one on every single snowflake. You don't have to go this crazy. I can't stop. Okay. Look how pretty though. All right, let's do the inside. On the inside, I'm doing the shiny piece of vellum, and it's going to go right here. I'm going to have a little piece, and this is 4x4, kind of save on the paper, and then a piece of white down here that I cut so that I have a place to sign it. And this will go right here. So I'm going to put this one on first where I want it. Right up here, kind of like a moon, but not really. There's that pretty stamp that I love. Now turn this over and glue it right here. So it's really just attached there, because sometimes you see the glue with the vellum. And then this one. This is the easiest part of the card, is the inside. Go. And I'm not making 50 of these, just for special people. I hope you give this bundle a try. It's really fun. I think this is going to be my favorite for the season. So there we go. Choose your favorite. Of course, you could do this in blues or any other color. So I am not going to be back for a video next week. I am off on a 10-day trip, so I will not be posting a video, but I will post something, but it won't be a video. So I'm going to take the week off. So we'll see you at the beginning of October. I'll be back for a video the following Saturday. All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. See it, learn it, stamp it.